Hey guys! For today's video I decided to have a little chat about age pressure since I'm turning 25 next week, which is absolutely crazy because I still feel like I'm 18. Like, what happened the past 7 years? I don't know. I made myself a matcha latte because it is late in the afternoon and I didn't want to make myself another coffee because then I can't sleep at night, but I needed a little bit of energy, so I decided to make myself a little matcha latte. If you want to grab something to drink or something to snack, I don't know, we're gonna be here for a while. Cheers. Still hot. I don't know if the matcha is still good. I have my phases with matcha. Sometimes I drink it every day for a month and then I don't drink it for months at all. By the way, I am in my bedroom. How do you like the setup? I kind of feel like it's cozy. I personally like if YouTubers switch out their usual background for... Did I just call myself a YouTuber? Yes, I did. For a more cozy vibe for certain videos. I don't know, I like it, especially with the lights in the background. My dog is chilling. Oh, he's looking very judgy. I thought he's sleeping. Oh my gosh. Boy. So age pressure, turning 25 or however old you're turning. I feel like we've all felt age pressure at certain ages. Age pressure starts at like, I don't know, 18. For my entire life I wanted to turn 18, then I was finally 18 and then I realized, oh wait, my teenage years are almost over, and I kind of started panicking. And you know, then I turned 19 and then I turned 20, and 20 was like, ooh, oh my gosh, I'm turning 20, I'm entering my 20s, oh my gosh, the next is gonna be 30, and you kind of start to panic at like 20, which is absolutely crazy. Why do you start panicking at 20? You're so young. But I did it. I'm not from the US, so if you're from the US, 21 is a big birthday for you. For me, 21 wasn't a big birthday. 22 was a little bit bigger, only because Taylor Swift has a song that is called 22. Then I turned 23. I honestly don't even remember my 23rd birthday, probably because it was a lockdown, if I remember correctly. I have no idea what I did. And then when I turned 24, there was another lockdown. I posted a video saying, is it actually your birthday if you didn't cry? Because I feel like I've cried on pretty much all of my birthdays. It is a weird feeling. I feel like 25 is like such a significant age, a quarter of your life pretty much, hopefully, I don't know. It's like you're so close to 30. Like, I mean, 5 years is still a long time, but if I think about it now, like the last 5 years went by so quickly. When I turned 20, I started law school, and I'm 25. I'm almost done with law school, and it's crazy. It's just crazy. I feel like society, social media, whatever, puts a lot of pressure, especially on women. And I feel like, especially now with what I have experienced from TikTok, the age pressure starts at such a young age. It's like when you go on TikTok, you have all of these teens that are 16, 18. They have so much success and so much money, and you kind of feel like you failed, or I don't know, when you're older or haven't had these successes or whatever. And I feel like, especially on TikTok, like I remember I had a phase where I was uploading on TikTok regularly, and I felt old on TikTok. You feel old on TikTok if you're over, I don't know, 18, 19. It's very weird. Maybe it's the people that I watched or followed, I don't know, but it was like, I feel like I'm too old for it. Especially the creative jobs that where you're like, am I too old for this? What I like to think about is when I'm gonna be, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, whatever, I'm gonna look back at being 25 or 30 and be like, wow, I was so young. What was I worrying about? What was I complaining about? Especially at a young age, you have a lot of fear of missing out. You have a lot of fear of missing out from parties and going on vacation and doing all these crazy things. And I think the only reason why we feel like we're missing out on that is because we watch other people on social media do that and feel like we also have to do that. We still have our entire life ahead. You're still going to go to a lot of parties if that's what you want. For example, for me, I went to a lot of parties in my teenage years. I don't party ever now. I don't like it. I don't miss it. I sometimes like to dress up because I like to feel pretty when I wear makeup or a dress or whatever, but I don't like going to parties. When it comes to vacations, you have your entire life to do vacations. You don't have to see the entire world until you're 30. Another thing with age pressure is definitely accomplishing things at a certain age. It doesn't matter, having a house, having a career, having a family, having a relationship, being married, whatever it is. You do not need to accomplish certain things at a certain age. Just because someone is very successful at 18 and has achieved everything she ever wanted with her career doesn't mean that you have that. You have to do that too. You know, once you have it, it's pretty much, I don't want to say it's over, but it's already there. And I feel like Instead of wanting it to already be there, enjoy the process of just getting there. You don't need to have your dream job by 20, 25, 30, whatever it is. Maybe you'll find your dream job when you're 40. And you can buy a house when you're 40 or 50. You can start your family later. A lot of people start their families later nowadays. A lot of age pressure comes with, I'm now almost 30, I need to marry, I need to have kids, which I totally get. Like, okay, getting kids, it gets more difficult as you age, obviously, but still, people get kids when they're 35, sometimes even 40, and it can happen, and you don't have to pressure yourself to have a child at 30 just because society says so, or because it's safer. I don't want to go too much into having children because I don't know how safe it is to have a child later on. I don't know, but I think the medicine is now at a point where you can do that in a safe way. Having relationships and having pressure with relationships. I've been in a relationship for almost 7 years, so from when I was 18 to 24, and I could have easily said, well, I've been in a relationship for so long now, I cannot end it because I have been in it for so long. Let's say you're in a relationship, okay? You have been with this person, I don't know, let's say you met at 22 and then you've been together for 8 years. Now you're 30 and you decide you do not want to marry this person, you don't know what to have children with this person, but you've been together for 8 years and then you feel like this pressure of having to marry this person and having children with this person. Honestly, I think it is never too late to end a relationship. People divorce or end relationships when they're 40, 50, even older. At every age you can end a relationship and find someone new. I personally have a friend who, I don't know how old she was, but I think she was like in the beginning of her 30s when she ended a very long relationship. I think it was like 10 years, was it 7 years? I don't know, it was a very, very long relationship. They even have a child together, so it makes it even more difficult, and she was very, very unhappy in her relationship. And even having a child and knowing that she will be a single mom, she decided to end the relationship because she told me, in her words, she told me that she's still very young, she was over 30 at that point, and that she can still find someone new, and she's still gorgeous and young, and even if she has a child, she's gonna find someone new. And guess what? She found someone new and she's happy now. And why I liked that story so much was like because she saw herself as, I'm like, I don't know how old she was, maybe like 32, I don't know. And she still saw herself as like young, and I have still so much of my life. I feel like my generation, we have that feeling that when you're over 30, it's over. But I don't think it's a generation thing. I think other people have that view as well, because society just told us that that women after 30, I don't know, there's nothing I have to do. And I liked her point of view so much. It really made me think. It really made me think, like, what am I complaining about? I'm 24. I have so many years ahead. And if I look at her now being 36, she looks amazing. Amazing. And there's so many other women that look amazing when they're 40 and when they're 50, and they still look so good. Because I feel like a lot of age pressure comes not also from accomplishing things, it's also the fear of not being pretty anymore, of looking old. Like that's one of my biggest fears. I completely have to admit that. I want to age gracefully and beautiful, and you know, we all want to be gorgeous. I feel especially if women get older, they start to tend to get a lot of fillers, a lot of surgery, which can go the complete opposite way of making yourself look younger. I feel like it looks worse for most people, for the most people that I've seen. So I don't want to judge anyone. Everyone can do whatever they want, but I feel like aging naturally and gracefully is something beautiful. If we get to the point where we're like 80, I mean, this is amazing. You know, some people didn't get to that point because for whatever reason, some people just didn't have the chance to age. Even though I'm afraid of aging, I still want to make sure that I enjoy my life, and I still want to be grateful for getting older, for having the chance to get older. There are great things that you can do at every age. Like sometimes I'm like looking at my grandma and I'm like, she has an amazing life. I wrote a list of points that I wanted to talk about, but I feel like it went like, and I'm like all over the place and I don't even know what I said. And so I want to go back a little bit to accomplishing things at a certain age. Let me give you an example. When I started going to the gym, it was like in 2019, so I was 22. I easily could have looked at other girls and be like, well, but she started at 16, she started at 18, like what's the point of starting now? And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I feel like a lot of people have this, like, what's the point of starting now? Like, I'm already that age, why would I start now? There's this quote, I think like the second best time, it's a popular Chinese proverb, and it says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the second best time is now. Of course, the best time starting going to the gym was probably like maybe 18, then I would have had an amazing body by 22. But the second best time was when I started at 22. A few months after that, I started my YouTube and I was 22, and I also felt like I should have started my YouTube at 16 or something, you know, way earlier, but at least I started. And this is just an example. You can start YouTube or your career, whatever, so much later. I always like to look at other women that started it later. It doesn't matter when you start your career, it doesn't matter what other people tell you. If everyone tells you you're too old to start it now, prove them wrong. There are other people who had their successes very late. If you have anything that you haven't started and you feel like you're too old to start it, I promise you're not. And the same is what I already mentioned with the relationship. You're not too old to end it a bit. You're not too old to end a relationship and enter a new relationship. You can do things at every age. Like, don't let people tell you at which age you can do certain things. But I feel like I'm also gonna be the person when I'm gonna be at like 30 and I'm not gonna have a life partner. I will panic because I'm someone who is like, I wanna look good at my wedding, and I wanna have been with my partner, what can I say it, for a certain amount of time, you know what I mean? Like, I don't wanna get married 2 years into a relationship. I wanna wait a couple of years and then get married. So I get it that there's a certain pressure for certain things, but then I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't supposed to be, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to marry later or whatever. I feel like things happen for a reason, and one of the biggest things I've learned in the past year is that you cannot force anything. Honestly, everything is gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. I really believe in that. If you ever in your entire life wanted to force something really bad, and then it didn't happen, and you will be grateful that it didn't happen because it wasn't supposed to be yours. Turning 25, I also want to mention something on maybe like special birthdays, like, you know, 18, 21, 25, 30. I feel like there's also a lot of pressure of doing something crazy and special, and I don't know, maybe go on vacation and have the biggest party or whatever it is. And honestly, when I turned 20, I had this pressure. I was like, oh my gosh, I only had like a 1 in front of my, you know, like turning 10 is like whatever, but then it was like from the teens to the ones always going to a 2, and it was like such a big birthday, and I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And at that time I didn't really have friends, and I didn't have a friend group or anything. I was pretty alone, and I just went out for dinner, and honestly I loved it. But at that time I also felt like I should have a party, I should do something, and I feel like now I'm at a very different point. I was also thinking about, oh my gosh, 25, what am I gonna do when I'm turning 25? And I wanna go on vacation, travel somewhere, because I was like, I don't want to throw a party, let's go on vacation. But I'm not at a point where I can go financially, and also from time, I have law school, so I don't need to do that. I'm gonna wear a nice dress, that's what I wanna do, and I'm gonna go out for dinner. That's all I want to do, and I'm gonna spend the weekend with my family, which I'm very excited for. I'm gonna spend the entire week, because I've never dedicated a week to my birthday. I don't like my birthday, but since I was always studying, like I said, the last years I was in lockdown, I never really did anything on my birthday. So I was like, you know what, this year I wanna dedicate an entire week to my birthday, and I'm gonna just meet with friends, which I'm very excited for. I'm gonna relax at home, I'm gonna do whatever I want pretty much. I just wanted to say, if you feel any pressure of throwing a big party, you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to even go out on your birthday. Do what feels best for you. I feel like there's nothing worse than throwing a party and then not even liking it and having to spend all this money or whatever, or, you know, forcing yourself into doing something that you really don't want to do. I guess to sum it up, it is pretty much to what I like to do to deal with the age pressure and fear of aging. It's really to just enjoy it and make myself feel good about the way I look. You know, some days I like to be in sweatpants, and I really love that look, okay? I love being in sweatpants and no makeup. I love wearing my gym clothes and wearing no makeup. I love to feel good about myself. I don't feel good about myself every day, I just want to say that. But sometimes, you know, sometimes I go to the gym and I wear my gym outfit, I feel so good about myself, or I wear my sweatpants and I feel good about myself. I don't even need to wear makeup sometimes. Sometimes I feel amazing when I wear makeup or a dress or a bikini. I just like to enjoy these moments where I am happy with myself and where I like the way I look, because this was a very hard and long way. Honestly, I like to take pictures of myself so that I have them. They make me feel good. If I take good pictures of myself, I like to put them on Instagram or just have them on my phone or whatever. Kind of like as a memory. I just like to appreciate the way that I look, that I do feel good on certain days and that I like the way I look on certain days. Like I said, not all days. Not all days, not all days. I have days where I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm the ugliest human I've ever seen. And sometimes I feel amazing about my body. I'm like, damn, I have such a nice body, and I love the way I look in underwear, okay? And sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to lose weight. What is this? We all have these days, okay? Because you know, one day you're gonna have everything. One day you're gonna have maybe your partner and your house or your career, and you have it all. And you're gonna be hopefully happy, but you will be like, why didn't I enjoy the way there? Like, why was I worrying so much? And I know, worrying is normal, but you know, not excessively. Comes from the person who is worrying excessively 24/7, but you know what I mean. I try to enjoy the way, I try to enjoy the process. Of course, not every day. Sometimes I'm like, why do I not have these things? And sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to age. But I still like to look on the other side and be like, I'm grateful that I am getting older, and hopefully I will be very old. Balance. That's something I want to say maybe. Count the things that you have and that you have done to see how amazing you are and what you've accomplished. What I like to think about, when I was 18, I didn't have friends, I didn't like the way that I look, I didn't have a career or anything. I had nothing pretty much when I was 18. And now I have my own apartment. I would have killed to have that at 18. I have my own apartment, I have a dog that I love, I have friends, I like the way that I look. I'm very happy actually with myself, not just the way that I look, but also the way I worked on myself. I really worked on myself since I was 18. I've changed a lot, and this was a lot of hard work, honestly. I am a way better person, and I really like the work I put into myself, and I also like how I put work into my body, and I go to the gym. I love the gym, and I'm in law school, I'm doing YouTube. I'm doing actually pretty amazing if you think about it, and even though I'm not where I want to be one day and I still want to accomplish a lot of things, I'm grateful where I am. I had nothing when I was 18. I was miserable when I was 18, but it gets better. It gets better. I feel like that's pretty much everything I wanted to say on age pressure. If you enjoyed this video, more talking video, I have like a how to be confident video and my weight gaining journey if you want to watch that. Subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!